wadima nanji gote mero ya dabunda nambiano ya ma seni ya kenye jura dawo nanji gote mero ya dabunda nambiano ya ma seni ya kenye jura dawo
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الحمد لله رب العالمين الحمد لله رب العالمين مباري ولونغالي كونتون الله واتولا دنيا نواتول تكلنتي البيت تمبو تمبتو البي واتو واتو نغالي كونتون بادي يالا نغالي كونتون كرنتي يالا نغالي كونتون مسلمي يالا نيمبانكو كلي يالا كرنتيا أميانكو بكم تسكونتو السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته alibadi malum lamin konate jama biye idal tanjela ana platform to mialon ko gafuda me membe kere par bi niaje nata jang nata fansun pejoto kos bi lafta kumala kulle la mialon ko omu politikolite parti politiko ba konole banko la politiko ba konole anun kula mielon kontole be min kunnan wato beto wolom ni ko ka wala dalta kolto ka mul hakilo blandi ka gambia dingol hakilo blandi kol la milionon ko kumata baki meta diamula meta kumol min be fula ka fo mole ko asimeo me to nyala be labanna asimeo me to nyala be labanna ka fo gambia dewle ko enyanta ka wala dalta baki kol miliketa gambia banko ka barbi nanyin kacha bi abita minna wala nyinde ko mineketa Senegal banko kan wala kilariya min bodanan Senegal banko kan kana gambe banko kan Senegalolu mineketa Senegal dengolti ye mun kilale ki gambe dengoli bin nafta nar wala kacha andu nyun kono UDP parti o mielon ko ikafatele United Democratic Party mun wala dalle bijang mun simfalla nyanta kata ka the politics of the time barin son tan nyina la ko ni crossroke e bajele la ko pastef ay ku jamalata UDP la politiko ko ye lesin jamalata UDP la politiko ko wala tan na ko do biye naketa ngana fo even big organization sometimes communicate to the more canal crisis kana but every crisis min kumata je wala to learn from those crises to bounce back and become stronger madam maro lolto min keta Gambia banko kan maro lolto min keta Senegal banko kan bimbe min be mun tilile kono bi so mbela flan nim badi UDP kolu mbadi Gambian kolu nim programme be abeta nata wala dal ha nanna ke kende baje la ay programme oke ay wala da balé tan nim programme ñu kolu kono nga tentu wala nga jaay min keta pamurit but the dimension of mentala will be leaning towards a bit of UDP la politique mo ba Gambia but UDP be dun ko ñon ko kacha ñon ko bakile oto hankabi nkana nyola mani jisola alinga nyola mani alinkana nyola mani jisola ngalon la mani hakilo bari ndul hakilin tawon mi bina kanja fo nga tinyale folo ni nga tinyato hakili malu atole sa albeda da ha dada robe kene dawdande akatijale folo ina dada nkoy dada do fa bi je natara bi dada la betia wallahi aka lo fenne kam aka lo tinyar le kam tinyar kulle keta nyim bankol mi yala ngon ka fo bi nyaaw bo rew bankol fe kulle keta nkoy ko kunun ifana dun dañola la tinyaro le keta je e wolte ko atekela asifa atekela jam koteke yela institutional law yela loi lo londi e ko nyin sifa atanda atekela jam koteke yela banko bill e kam nation building. We had similar opportunity 2016 nata. It was going to be a momentum, a lasting momentum for Gambia. So much opportunities was on our way through nation building. And nation building will be reforms, those agendas. But it will be katabe bari sama manta do ko la som bijan na bi mo jama kanyum fole ko ni be wala Gambia e be na Senegal ko e camera ko mantra bank mantra continent kele camera ko mantra ne weno like e camera ko e kadum from a third world country to a modern country model la experience ka mi tan di mon ni dunda ni bo wala Gambia banko ka e ka Gambia banko ji al halol min kono ni dunda Senegal bi ta ka nyame Senegal be rapid development min soto ka e ka jaxal ha tonya ni min ta nakar maki ay in so much infrastructural development in Senegal but in Kanyilefo development is not about all this kanyi mi fonkol mi be moy ka fo ko ka si lolo kanyi fonkol baldo project no ngani fole wato be ko development is human right development mo fenti ablo human right ka ablo molle ni mol man develop ni mol man free ni mol man fan express no ni mol people should live in dignity not living in fear, especially away from injustice. Injustice without ending is against humanity, it's against human right. It kills. And injustice jamabija be mo corruption. Saying near the Senegal bo temboto, near the Senegal federal temboto. It is based on some of the very important democratic credentials. They mean institutionalized in Senegal. Yo be ke okola mo kilene nata akaba betinyala. Nsafa ko mo kilene nata almost ayatinya. Wala mujuma wala market. Makie cool milike. Despite all those infrastructural development. Nima mol la bank nima mol bunya ima mol la nyantolu garanti imam tilimbali ya bula min kay labanje min kala banje min kay tarje wolom doyat ngo alinga karantari kolto akata dulal tole te banna isi lol lo ñokanne ni bu ko yelema itara YouTube itara dulal bete isi kasabe te banna ibe exemple mil tarje tilimbali ya ko la mun beje ala ñim hada man min da aya buña aya horma ya londi so ndol ñoo hada ma dewlo ni nga ñoo doya mbari won what does that mean for us mi ala so kon so ibe ñim min fo kanko Gambia ni Senegal tel lala hako ikaji be ñam lo ñu ko min be Senegal ani min be Gambia ni la hajibe ñim banko fulo kunu na jël nga bi fa na jël mbadi won so nin kunu ko dole miyan ko aka kay Senegal lu ñaabo do fo kana banko Gambia banko kay école ñine binto la koku a jara ken jalo a fen da banko ngata Senegal because they are going ntol be ñoyren kumbalen to hanbe bimin to man mofno man tano dawdande because mo nekata ngani yolto ñoy be ñoo sin sabala man son ñola man son ñoma be ñoo ka nakarala be ñoo batande la be ñoo torala be ñoo tilimbali yala o be dawdande pour ñaata soto abe ko la baki so makinata ayim beke what that reminds me nane ko programme ko janan ko developmental state way haklo bal mo la wala mu station mi ko ila nyaton ko they want to give everything to the citizens and in return what they want is total loyalty. For example, Gaddafi style leadership style in Libya. Gaddafi ko beleke pour ka doko ke Libya diande bare amam min kumande jolo mo human right andu mun bina kila je o human right no man time no man law everything crumbles down with it ni ngenda kala nyaton kol be kawandolet hani si mun ko moliye par ni ma molle bu ñay ko tilimbala kala molla e ko be mol dawne mol ñaajoro bonde la wallahi ibaka koko mbe aliste jolle jibe kan sainte mimbe kere di maturity political maturity mi anon be manifest ka in Senegal ay ngana la ban fanan jibe kaje ko tilimbalolu ali ngal nam moñin lafta nga ñi wala dal dol taja ali ngal nam moñin episode to menna Ousmane Sonko abo al halol kono bi Ousmane Sonko be muy al halol kono ali ngal lam moy ñaton kolu ay ñi ke wala dalte because bi kacha jamal bi ñu fudu ñu ko kono minamil jibe la pour mbenga wala dalta ka bontol banku diwlo kada fo politician olu kada fo political party olu ñu mbeke asike mbe wala data ali ngal lam moy ñin
lépp dama ko jàppee natt ay yonent sax nattu nañ leen ci lu mel nii moo tax yàlla bi mu naan ahasiba nnaasu an yutraku an yaqulu amanna wa hum laa yuftanuun wa laqad fatanna alladina min qablihim fala yaclamanna allahu alladina sadaqu wala yaclamanna alkaadibin li am nag ñun dañ koy dellu ci yàlla te yàlla mooy leeral ay mbiram ba mu leer nañ yàlla dafa ne du ma leen seetaan rek ngeen ni fëgg dënn naan gëm nañu te du ma leen natt du ma testé ba xam ndax yéen gëm-gëm mi ngi ci yéen noonu ma ko defe woon ñi leen jiitu nga xam dama leen doon nattu ba xam kan mooy wax dëgg ak kan mooy wax safaan wa àdduna bu mu la jay mukk àdduna dafa am taarix am siira boo demee ci siira boo demee ci histoire àdduna bi ci gën a sori mooy Firawna bay ci mujjee nii kuñ ci mus a jay ba gëmloo ni am nga doole bu kenn amul rek rey nañ la gis nga nguur kenn moomu ko yàlla rek a ko moom te dafa am bakkan day jeex ñii la wër dar la di la bàkk ak yu demee noonu ñu ci bëri ci ñoom ñu nga àndoon ak président Abdoulaye Wade di xeex contre toi te bis boo fi jógee ngay xam ni ñooy ay jaam jéggal leen ma ci terme bi dañoo bëgg nga delloo sa xel la ñu la yéene ñun mooy nga pare dem toog ni say morom président Issoufou mi ngi Niger kenn sonalu ko président Buhari ak président Obasanjo kenn ñi ngi fii Nigéria Guy Rawlings nekk na Ghana ba ni mu génnee àdduna keneen ak keneen noonu waxuma sax réewu tubaab yi fii laa wax ci Afrique lañ la yéene mooy nga génn dem toog jàpp sa ñàmbur di dox say soxla wala su dee da ngay dem ci international nga dem waaye yéenewuñu la mujj bi nga xam ne ñooñu moom lañ bëgg si yow ndax munoo gagner combat bi devant le peuple sénégalais te plus ñu lay dugal plus sa situation est grave parce que bu dee da ngaa dox ci ay néew pour génn wala pour essayer forcer toog ci réew mi xamal ni sa mujj dina métti lool dina jafe lool te yéenewuñ la ko ki la gëmloo ni ñun nit ñi dañ laa jàppal dara bëgg laa fexeel wala di waajal ay fayu ñun amuñu jot boobu xam nga ñun dañoo jàng ci yonent bi alayhi salaam jàng ci nit ñu baax ñi li ñu jàng mooy lan bu xeex nooteel jotee kenn gënuñoo dëgër kenn dàquñoo xeex bu bañ injustice jotee kenn dàquñoo xeex bu xeex ngir dëkk jotee kenn dàquñoo xeex waaye bu ñu demee ba jekku la yonent bi defoon keroog bi mu ubbee Màkka ñun loolu la ñu gëm parce que ku ñu jox réew da nga war a jublu ci liggéey da nga war a jublu ci tabax ak defar waaye xëy su bu ngoon jot di wër kan lay tëj kaso bokk na ci li tardel Sénégal ba fi mu toll nii kon na nga delloo ci sa xel xam ni ala kulli xaal nguur gi la yàlla doxoon jeex na la ca des nag mooy daa am fu réew di toll dafa am fu mbir di toll ki mu concerné mu war a jël responsabilité am faire preuve de grandeur loolu rek lañu souhaité ci yow souhaité ko ci sa njaboot asalaamualeykum wa rahmatulah wa barakaatu.
mbaɗengolum beele ngo moy ñola ñin keta Sénégal de tilembaliya min be keta je belenga je kabo vidéol to kabo kibarol to bari mu nekkita Sénégalol beele kafuta ñoma imam mobo moto imam jako ñum kankar kundan kolot ñum bota jande e ko mimbe kere anin silo manta tilimbaliya lamu ade ate kela o banko ka itil nyabala imam kukije they all rallied around common interest muno common interest wala justice yaade ning hadama de wolu be man kafu ñoma ka justice ka londe mo man safe yoro lonje Senegal be kafta ñoma because if one is at one that no more clean justice denied, no one is safe in that country. But Gambia jibe nin tilimbala be keta jak nga tiara sinat nga londe nko nga dum nga funti nga tilimbalia jibe mil keta bankoka mil dun do tilimbalia do nga do ko loje e ko never again pour sifa kana kidan kotek ha yo beke tiara singam ko kromi bedu ndo koko mina nata labanje jamfa nyo sinsaba man tar ñoy nka min fon ñoy santola nka ñew bonde ñoy ñaat nka ñew bonde ñoy tara son do monte son do monte kilinde because mo nekata we are not rallying around common interest to justice ka justice londe min ñantam ma ko le ko justice londe wala folo en di betray bandul fam bank dimul dam man fa nata jibe manke keno kilinde because politician la la yam divide le yam imam yam bu ñotule ñaka tares ñaka bagambe banko ka ñabala ebe mol toñal la ebe la ñan tol tiñal ebe nakarla mbe ñabala bari man tan don dolla ha natul man dara ñula nen dolle be ñola ye ko beta to put nepotism there, you know, tribal rhetorics ana sifa min sintul damman dundu ñola dro yola ke gambe banko ka mbe ñabala je wo reformol be kono e ko toñaay sabati hani ka be ñin tilimbale ala kele kam ko nga mar kendo na mielon ko asni be address na draft constitution natna jam fal dun ta kono kanyo sin saba kanyo dabare kanyo korte nga mil londe nga mil karto 5 million ko eta yemma ko wolle fulo en jam fa par Senegal ko jibe e man ta tiara si man ko bari kulle kete je kati kala banko ka be kafto ñoma e man mo bo moto e bo ka moy ko kankar kundan ko ñinde ko min keta min be Senegal e ngata dandal opposition party leader mi alon ko Ousmane Sonko abe min ko min ke ka wala ka dota ka pourko ako Senegal ko la soto fenlu et la natural resources il a fait fenêtre ko Senegal ko le tamo et ko be ke kaje ko waylo ay Senegal ko nafa akoy maral nyaaso to mialan ko etatara do ko rogodon etatara chapiri mol bulol ko because Senegal ye opportunity min soto Senegal ye natural resources min besoto bankulo to wol be nyanri ne pour kana ke fa muna fa wala because muneketa ko min be Russia sainte Russia la ela natural gas to wol be sulare munela wala to have this gas to heat themselves. So now there is an opportunity in Senegal. Senegal has plenty of that now. This is going to be momentum of Senegal. Senegal they'll bring a lot of prosperity for the Senegalese. Wallahi. Mina yiruwal menjela Senegal. Itanyo jala the whole of probably Senegal fa batam la Rwanda la. Senegal batam la Rwanda la. Kulme ya nyati Senegal la. Ni ya ka nyama e min fo mola ni o timmande wallahi Senegal batam la Rwanda la. The natural resources min be ubanko ka the deposit and the hani tulolu tul kolon mbele ka moja. Hani to la tul kolon milan ko be gambe banko ka. Ndolla natural resources kabonna timbala katanna fonna tul kolon lo kata fonna isefona na class nyolu na wulolu will be na natural resources but they are all depleted jumala kanye kabonna na black sand nyolu mune wento na fa mune la gambe banko ka because mune kata there is no system of accountability imam bala fa moliye ko min mimu gambe la soto fawlati gambe nyanta to get a lot of revenue out of this. I'm trying to nafaka. It will follow me about a squander can. Ibukaji noma. Even the dollar tell, even the dollar be Thailand, even the dollar be wafila. But look at now Senegal. What Senegalese, what the leadership is going to provide Senegalese. Ni yemim for ni akanya mambola. Give Senegal a few more years, you will see a lot of prosperity. I feel places like Niger, you look at Burkina Faso, you look at Yastat, le foka pare, et le banco la sorte fait il faut banco demolo. They are going to send away all the investors. They want, when you mean they're trying to attack investors. But investing in a way that is responsible is not exploitative. Not to leave the capitalists to come and suck the Senegalese. Capitalism is good, but it has to be regulated. Unregulated capitalism is very exploitative. So this is a big opportunity for Senegal because they are very homogenistic. It can bentale. E bukanyo jibe kankar kundan kolo nyindi kankar kundan kolo nyindi. Hana da nyin na fam. Nyum election be keka wato menna. Senegal ko demol minan ko itata ila bodal mota yo je jumalilla. Yo je Gambia la. Gambia minke ilo election to sakon na nyum parliamentary election min tambita. Gambia de lié union boyto etale la boda sol muta Senegal ngol fana yo lek bar kabin Gambia de lié ke dron politician stata ka to label them calling them names calling them names pour ka molu nyawundi la wala ka mol to panic to create fear in people because they are talks they are this be call be kumol be fole be nabella with names monkey clint so nga bula wala be min fokan tolye yentol believe in the wala yolande ko ñin they are troublemakers ñin manke multi mi banko kan ñin lem they call us names Senegal ngol le banko defend yela interest defend ima mobu mot be kere clint ndol mo ke Gambia mili yake they call them names they were giving them names amanya len ngo fo jam ban te lengol moy kabirin registration watola voter registration watola mul military pour ka ke ko kueta nyama e kana mul register milan ko qualité bulu manki Gambia demot they call them names your tribal dunde je your political names all dirty political names all tila where is nationalism Instead of calling them nationalists, we call them other names. They are very derogatory or they are bigotry. So, amame bake jandi betenten na ngalam moy Dr. Lamin Manela aning Peter Gomez coffee time ye kachal menke Lamin Dr. Mane be nyung opportunity mim foka ni economic boom mialonko is expected in Senegal. What that means for Senegal du kare nga wato tangal lammo nyenna ngana wofan de banding analyze because when I'm kula mialonko doction wala nang ko UDP ale UDP plus le nko ni musu do be jam gon kuno bari nga fam to fo jam fam wala jena mast muso fele lata benna muso fele mialonko ay banko ala banko kan bar muso fele mialonko a jof akun fata asobeata very humble akonye ko lamin ko akonye akonye ko alifale min duwa min kanyim patiwe akonye ko pour feyna yo jiki jaka we will have our moments but wallahi duwa min be kanyim patiwe momo e jam fa wala ni patiwe ko dum kay kunde ka wala mto nyata jene ba wayi nyata wala ni mol mi lan ko kamil foko Dr. Lamin Mane is a blessing for United Democratic Party. Very resourceful, very talented, and he see continue UDP te banna. Alingan lamwe Dr. Manela Kachala and Peter Gomez minki.
French President Emmanuel Macron has congratulated Basirou Diomaye Faye on his victory in Senegal's presidential election, saying he looked forward to working with him. So too does our President Barrow. He made it very clear in his message to Faye also on Monday. I assure Your Excellency of my commitment to further strengthening the enduring bonds of friendship and place our bilateral relationship on a covenant beneficial to the two peoples of our countries, Barrow wrote. But before things get better, they may first go south in some areas, warns one opposition politician. Here's a continuation of our conversation with Mr. Lamin Mane, UDP's Assistant Secretary for External Affairs and Gambians in the diaspora.
Let's talk about the economic impact of the change of government in Senegal.
Right. If you take, for example, our power supply, we are getting a significant chunk of our power supply from Senegal at a very high cost. Now, when Pastef was campaigning, they said they were going to renegotiate all of those contracts because they were all Leonian contracts, poorly negotiated and ripping off Senegalese citizens. You take the energy sector. Currently, Senegal has discovered oil and gas and is going to be exploiting very soon.
Correct.
A number of contracts have been signed in that area, and Pastef saying they're going to review those contracts. Just take the gas, for example. Gas was discovered near Saint Louis, which is and that is shared by Senegal and Mauritania. But there's another huge gas deposit around Kayar, which belongs to only Senegal. And that deposit alone is 1.4 trillion cubic meters. That's 1.4 million cubic meters. So that alone is a huge impact on Senegal's economy. The oil is available. Zircon is available. They have discovered diamonds. And the people who signed the diamond contracts, Mirimont and the rest, they hardly any royalties to the country. So all of those things are going to be negotiated. But just take the gas alone. Pastef is saying they're going to renegotiate all of those contracts and they're going to take over the gas production and the electricity production from gas. Because all of their generators, heavy diesel engine generators, can operate on gas. You just need to have a small modification and you can use gas to power those heavy fuel powered generators. If you do that, in Senegal, currently, the kilowatt hour of electricity costs over 150 CFA per kilowatt hour. If they transform those generators and power them with gas, the cost of a kilowatt hour of electricity will go less than 30 CFA francs, and from 150 plus to less than 30. So that's a huge reduction in the cost of electricity reduction for Senegal. Yes, exactly. So that in itself alone should force the Gambia to renegotiate our contract with Senegal to have it at a lower price. Okay, that might not be in the next couple of months, but by the end of the year we would have that. Okay, so that should have a huge impact on our energy bill. But beyond that, we should also seek our own energy independence. Now, the other part to that is that energy production is going to go into shambles for a while, because there is a power station which is built in Cap de Biche, which generates 35 megawatts of electricity, and which is owned by private operators protected by the President's office in Senegal. We couldn't talk about these things before because we don't want any reprisals on the Gambia for our electricity sector. Things are changing now, so people can talk much more freely. Probably you know Samuel Sarr, who is of Gambian origin, I think from her mother's side. Samuel Sarr is one of the owners of that power plant in Kayar, Cap de Biche, and they are generating 35 megawatts of power, and they are generating that using the gas that is coming from the Senegalese gas supplies, and they are selling it to Senelec, and Senelec is selling it. So they have invested over 200 billion CFA francs to produce that when the state could not. So who are those people working for? And they have partners which I would not name today. So they are producing that gas at very cheap cost, because they were given some plot in Boro where they were supposed to build that power plant and generate the electricity. But they moved it all the way to Cap de Biche to be near the interconnection center, so they can produce it cheap, and they would have to do transportation, and they can sell it cheap to Senelec and make a killing. So I'm sure Pastef is going to renegotiate all of that. So that's going to throw the energy sector into chaos for a while. But when it gets settled, the Senegalese will gain considerably, and hopefully the Gambians too. But another important factor for that is that if that happens, because they have gas to power project which is happening, and another one which is even better, gas to industry. So they'll be using the gas to generate power for the industrial sector at a much lower rate. So major companies in Senegal will be getting electricity at less than 20 CFA francs per kilowatt hour. When that happens, their production costs are going to drop significantly, and they're going to be extremely competitive. And that will most probably kill the possibility of any industrial development in the Gambia in certain sectors, unless we have a government that is going to be resolute in developing the industrial sector, because we will become a dumping ground for Senegalese products. So that is something that the government needs to know, and I'm sure they know. So these are areas where we should be looking very closely at our industrial policy if we have one. I don't think we do. But if we don't, this is the time to start thinking about those things. This is time to start thinking about what industries can we develop and what kind of energy supply can we get for our industries to keep them competitive. Because if you don't, our industries will be so poorly competitive against Senegalese industries, they will die. They won't sustain the competition. These are some of the areas where we should be worried, and we should be looking at our internal politics. Okay. We didn't talk about these things before because we knew that the government probably knew about them. And if you talk about it so much, there could be reprisals against the Gambia and everyone would get hurt. But now we have a government that is coming in place, which is patriotic, which is sovereignist, and all of things can change. So we can talk much more openly because they are already talking themselves. So we can have these things on the, in the public space and discuss them.
Do you think Pastef won the election on the strength of the Pastef message, or because of the mistakes of Macky Sall? Don't you think Macky Sall made far too many mistakes close to the election, than maybe PASTEF just having a large following. There's no doubt about that. They have a large following.
They would have won, but probably not with such a large margin, and probably not in the first round. But it's a combination of all of those factors. PASTEF, like the UDP here, was victimized. Its leaders have been jailed for the flimsiest reasons you can think about. Usman Sonko was accused of rape. And in the end, they had to throw that case out. And what did they do? They had to find something to hang on him. They said corrupting the youth, which is not even in the Senegalese legislation, but they had to invent that somewhere and sentence him on those grounds. Whereas in the French legal system, it says there is no crime, no misdemeanor, no infringement, unless where it is stated clearly by law. That is what the Senegalese penal code says and all the Francophone penal codes. This one did not exist, but they invented it. The judges were imaginative enough to have that sort of thing from antiquity and then sentence him on that. They could not arrest him because they knew that it was very flimsy sentence. And what did they do? They were looking for something to hold against him to arrest him. They couldn't. So they kept him on the house arrest for weeks, almost for months. And in the end, they arrested him for what? That he stole a phone from a security officer. Could you imagine? And they arrested him on those grounds because they wanted to put him in behind bars. And they did. And that happened to Basirou Diomaye Faye. That happened to El Malik Ndiaye. That happened to Fadilu. It happened to so many people. Over 1,000 people were arrested among the youth. The PASTEF leadership was decapitated and they were taken to jail. And people were going to work simply because they had a picture of Usman Sonko on their phone, or they had an armband, or they did something that made them look like PASTEF supporters to the security officers. They were just picked up and detained and tortured and beaten up. That created a lot of revolt in the country. In addition to that, the economic situation was getting extremely difficult for most people because of the rampant corruption. People in high offices, like we have in the Gambia here, were walking away with billions of CFA, and they were just flaunting it all over the place, like we have here. And when they get called out, the people who call them out get arrested and thrown into jail on very flimsy excuses. Fortunately, we are not at that point here, and we hope we never get to that because we will take them on. But yes, people were being ripped off day in, day out. And the people in government who would come into government destitute, and within a year, like in the Gambia, will put up mansions and buy all sorts of cars and do whatever they like and travel to wherever they like on vacation with their families, etc. Everybody was saying this. Farba Ngom, who was a minder for some wrestlers, all of a sudden became a billionaire, and so many other people like that. The people were saying that, so they're angry. They knew that this is the state resources being mismanaged and misappropriated by a few, and they were just very arrogant about it, like here. So you have all of those cases happening. In addition, people saw the potential for the country, but nothing was being given to the Senegalese. The youth could not find employment. The youth could not get any loans in the banks to start their businesses unless you are very, very well connected. The university was closed down for virtually a year now because Macky Sall thinks that, they are PASTEF supporters, so he has to punish them. So he closed down the university for virtually a year. The students have lost a whole year this year of studies. The agricultural sector, which could have been doing so well, was neglected. That's like in the Gambia. So, it's a litany of woes in the country, and the Senegalese are suffering from that. In addition to that, you tell them that the political party you support will not be able to say anything or do anything, or will lock them all up, just like we had here. And people got so angry in 2016, they voted Jammeh out. And also in the case of Senegal, the economy is extroverted. Foreigners control that economy to almost 55%. And the Senegalese are saying, we want our economy back. We want to be able to do the things that we can do in this country because we have the potential, we have the knowledge, we have the wherewithal, and we can even get investment somewhere, probably. But no, they will be controlled from outside interests. So that also made people very unhappy. In the Gambia here, what are we doing? We are selling off all our strategic assets. Senegal, they sold them all already. Sonatel was sold off. It was a very prosperous and very profitable company. But why decided to sell it to France Telecom? Why? Same thing. We are selling off Gamtel. We are selling off Gamcel. So you have all of these same things happening in the two countries. Now, Senegal is lucky now. They're going to be able to take back a lot of those companies. So the Gambians here and the people who are selling our companies, caveat emptor, buyer beware, because we could come after those things as well. They could be renegotiated, they could be looked into. Pastef is going to do that. They're going to take back a lot of those companies. They're going to renegotiate those contracts. They're going to look at where illegalities happen and cancel the contracts. So, all of those
things is able to do that, Lamin.
Yes.
Because they succeeded in mobilizing the youth to deliver the election result on Sunday. You spoke about 2016. Again, in 2016, it was the youth who delivered change.
Yes.
Is the UDP able between now and 2026 to convince the youth that it's time for change yet again in the Gambia, especially at a time when Mamadou Sabali, who was one of you, is now saying the youths are happy. Happy about what? Happy about their government.
But nobody believes that, of course. And you can see what is being written about it on social media about the youth being happy. That doesn't hold water. Nobody believes that. So that's, I don't even want to discuss that. But, the youth in the Gambia know if they're happy or not. They are suffering. Why are we having so many of our youth going by the back way? Why are we having our youth into drugs? Why are we having our young girls into prostitution? Because they are desperate. Why are we having so many school dropouts? Because parents cannot pay for school. People are dying at very young ages because they can't afford the medical bills. So the hardship goes around the country. Everybody sees it, and it's worse than 2015, 2016 on the Jammeh. The hardship is worse now. And to compound it all, this government is going around breaking people's houses, people's homes, and whatever without compensation. You're going to the streets. In my neighborhood here in Kesering, they have gone to the whole street. The houses are just broken down. You have your house gone just because somebody has decided, and there's no compensation for any of them. They break down part of your house, and you have to go and fix it. Okay?
Are these the sort of things that anger the youth?
Yes, exactly, because they see that their livelihoods and everything that concerns them is being squandered by the government, and they don't care about them. When you have some of these youths who are unemployed, who try to make a living, they go around the markets, they sell in stalls or on wheelbarrows or whatever, on tables, and they have their small tables somewhere they're selling to try to make a living, a decent living. And you come all of a sudden, and you send money out there. Money goes out there and just breaks, have their tables and their stalls broken just because he has the security forces behind and he has power to do it, he just does it. So that arrogance, that wickedness, of course, turns away the youth, turns away even the elderly people from them. So the Gambians are very unhappy, particularly the youth. So these people are ready to vote for UDP. And in 2021, they did vote for UDP, just that the election was stolen. And we are saying that that will not happen again. If it had not stolen in 2021, Adam Barrow would have been history. And in 2026, he will be history, because we will not allow him to steal our vote, we will not allow him to steal our victory, and we will not allow IEC to steal our victory anymore. Nobody will. Pastef, they had their election results just like we have prepared here when we were going to do that. Their election results were going straight from the polling station to the Pastef command centers. So they had their results and nobody could play with them. Otherwise, they probably would have cooked the results again and pronounced the results that they had already prepared, not what was coming from the ballot boxes. But Pastef was ready for it. And they were ready in case the government decided to play hanky-panky and cut off the internet. They were ready for it, just like we are ready here. So you have all of those things which are in place, and people are fighting back to take back their countries and their rights. So Macky Sall did not understand that, and he thought he could stay there and be very powerful and do whatever he wanted to do. They've shown him that the power belongs to the people. And Adama Barrow better learn from that because he's going to be the next in line.
And that was Mr. Lamin Mane of the UDP. He's the party's Assistant Secretary for External Affairs and Gambians in the diaspora.
Mbayolu mbele ngo moñola mbe Lamin tendula mba jayla mba ni mbaral barke londi tiyolo mu ade mono mielonka hikma soto ado mono mielonka laftala bankola ay min be fu janyin kacha kono be ngora data janne wolom nyente ko corruption min be kereno ani injustice ando nun tala ngaji be na gambe banko ka de wala mu de daily bread corruption ni injustice selective justice min be nyim bankun ka when banko tardendi wayatnande hanbe bimento me fitino kono nin ko fitino kono nin alimentary containing ni altere ko wato betal nyabe ka luata ka ke doranti ka modol busala mbo justify la nyadile fom maje ka fa ko modol mu UDP lati isobita ko UDP ko la yebole la yebayla do kolto kunu ngani ne kala nyum bankun kan nja o manke injustice o manke selective justice ja min nyaabe mella miliyalon ko yenna na flul sunya jam yenna fambe sunya jam be nyaba je ka be murunu kan nan ko taki kinat nan kamul hadaji. If you look at Njogu Banyol Sifalo, auditol ya itande janne, they owe this country millions. And it's a fall mania, a conduct, a footprint, and a fingerprint in the Gambia. Ufanda manda manakono, mosi wol murun nan ko te ko ka place wala di wala gambe banko kan sainte. Man fen lon de mielon ko imata ko men na niya bo nyoto folo. Nyabo la jam. But Senegal called this election was like a referendum against corruption, against injustice. Gambia, tonya. Kol membe jibeka. Meta min fola nyoko. Tonya. Alaji usena dabo. Momo be diamo kan yiko. Alaji usena dabo buka ganyo kenyi bangonga. Dukare tanyin sunkari ba kono ya bolo sai. Ya dani hakole because he boy ta kanne ya hakole tay ko ala subhanahu wa ta'ala wala no min keto nyum bankunka adun nganyum fon na Facebook page le lumbe sila nyum bankunka hanim fara nyino sina fonya di koko momo da dunda ko kuto pour ka election no sunya nyum bankunka kabo ya jamela jamano fombe bitiloment billahi lumbe sila ya abe ko lew ngani le folato be nko du kare nalbe do kola alal hakiloto ibe mine fola ibe mun kela ibe da dum la munato ibe mun support la ibe mun signala idabe tarra munato e mun du nyoto nyim bankunka because lumbe sila be bola nyoto le andon kabirin sai filfinol bakan jam fal minalon ko me kan mete kankula jamfa badolo abeba ko elale min be da dum dañum kolu kono afele bi mun kono min manke tati yata nakaro da manam wala tan min banku sambano because min be buli tati ibe sirin min ga itati ibe dun do kolu mil kono nakari ballo molti wala tan ni lefta democracy na da pour kawole ta ko bay kawo ko le ko le bay pour ni kam wala ni man sakunda sitting I start sitting on the basis of the mandate of the people kanye ko mo leo dia sincerely and honestly ko ngani di la tapale amantarje ngana sembota ngadi la tapale amantarje nimmo man sakunda soto you will be able to mobilize support, you will be able to succeed in your programs but it mo forcer no la ye sonima because ye sunyale wala na yaja meka kam fajam aka nendirol ke aka mol commandai siol commandai ke do yaja ke nangim bankun kanja o be kala bankun kanja mune ono nakaro abakala bang. If you live by the sword, you will die by the sword. Alta dictator be nyininka nyina mu kuti min lota nyina mu toñate hakkan femman nakara je kabirin Gaddafi bin nindo fa bala kumo kachaka Gaddafi barimma ayolo fa amandan ka kudeta de aya fale wala ta labanda nyadile ima fanam fa nyala in a way very very disrespectful nkamin fujam wala dafile ngani video min play Ousmane Sonko yanyim kuma kan min befo nyatonko do kare time o taye Ousmane Sonko lamoy nyabale police be kol min ka because man sakunda police ke joran lati police bunda fele police bunda alfanal police kundan kol alfele wala dafalal alimakum lumbe sile abe bola nyotole asime nyaawo nyande ñun dunia billahi ñun dunia kono ngoy ko molle be borum but justice is catching up with them fam maaje molle borta gambe banko kay tate kitinde banko dolika fam moli je ba wo banko la prison ilo prisonal kono je it buka ñun dunia is a globalized world. You don't run away from crime forever. As long as it's been here, it will catch up with you. The law will catch up with you. Imagine be Ghanaian or Fanan Baker. Ghanaian or Hanabe, baton, Kumba moy jam. Nko Ghanaian or Nalbala Kulka, Lala Kulke. Gambia Kulebola in Koto. But ye Gambia Judila as a sovereign country. By doing the fat na Bangkok, until man tell tal million on tal fat man kuno je, by it's a quite a deal with all to je. So Ghanaian Felisai, they have lost patience now. And if a min cake in the side, Ninga man cookie the side, they're going to. So one thing that Yaja Messi may now and day. Yaja made a bedonna, Julola, I mean Cosi. Nimbangunga. Alinga Karan. Nimbe, what am I saying? Corruption of fight. Corruption is the cancer, is the key word here. Adu luolu nyabo la mbankunka. Yankuba dabonata. I formula natina. Formula mialonko. It's not a rocket science. Ako, huolu suki, bundale mialonko, there are the leakages. Kamol na flow ta kebon de kesunya. Akungolu suki. Ningol suki mbekro min safe la wole muru na wole kam mode bonyi batal ko hano beto ba keleka ayo minke it's not a miracle yankuba is not a miracle yankuba manke jinot I formula not now formula melanko is very simple molle na mol joha molle na mol jadel yol leka but hano luwal min bije o na mol kono ko ngamin jo masakunda luwal bije ko wol nyanda kan kodo min di man sakunda rengal ibu kadi ala nyama hani ni kadi ala fana e kada sandele because ngol moy janne bare maje commissioner lota pour kaje ko man sakunda ren la ko do dépense nyalto bare ko do dépense nyalto ko to nyanda ko do min di la wol fan dal du ko di la baral be kiska which is fine kiskisiro ka ko kiskisi kaje ko there is any wrong if there is any wrongdoing then the law takes its course. But atul fana ka lual tija because mimbe je wala nyande ko altul nyanda ka percentage tal ka di masakunda re wala wal politiko fana beti nya mandar son nyoma mbe brand nyoma mbe lual tinyala mbe na institutional tinyala because institutional workta ite mari be political party ino mari bi jeli bay ne mantar je luay mem fo la nyande ka ke ni lual ka ta nyama ite mo bala do ko because ya feel ko UDP kolom ñimbe mu luwati ñal ñimbe mu corruptionality ñine ben tardendika gambe demlu woli ya prove le ko ni mo be jama ko ñoko mi sakonata ko ñankay nam akonyo ko every presidential election usene ka gagner akonyo ni last election on min fanketa that long break ni min keta wo banko kam ya be du ñoko wolto adum UDP ko mi be siren the collection center milliard lonke ye bang man sonna sign na o resource sign na because menekata wol kun kumate male because lumbe sila be bo blanyoto e kun kumate ma nyaade lon ko mimbe di kela mbade ngolo kulle be kere wotembo they protested but be bo blanyoto yeah Senegal fele over how many millions will la ko beke within hours ndol Gambia almost 24 hours wala min sera woto mo be kumpare mo be kere be mo nakarolati ibani ibuka mo nakar ya oppress isa wolo ama min fela min kata Senegal imaje bi anoda wala data adu asi mew nyaawo nyande min ko be lo da ba kumbol la ñu bankunka min ko be lo da ba kala mon dengto ñu bankunka iba tora amam fenke mola ama mon han siser ndema ama dam bankati ñu bankunka hi aya ni olande mo le palato kam akunin kido ba fala fa wol kata wala nan ko Senegal han Pastef Senegal ye ku jamal karang UDP nkorbol barsila alinga sabar ko le be Gambia nim alpha e fenne babulu fenne tawon le babulu ala ko ko kensa lumbe sila nim fana be kala history but alpha ñi left a legacy melan ko is going to be one in Gambia bari ngale Dr. Mane mola akata kala jam kotek pour UDP kala karto sunya wala kala ganyo manipulate akata keno la ñu bangon ko e fala be parandiro le man tara sire de min alon ko do bi jela wo kakele ay ke fendi melan ko is bounce back bari dal hakilo baka usenu ala rani dole keta after the election amame bake ngame rani dole soto fo sanyan no man fo mun tolam but that coastal area lomde alors jala fo jela ako pour kota kay pour ka UDP la karto suñano ñu bankunka wala ka UDP la ganyo suñano ñu bankunka ako te kala kota ke tabra fo dron ako e ko mben na resource announce le andum be kelale mbe protect la kabro fo dom ipanekta milbe the players aliala le mil kabe press conference ke ko na NPP press conference ke mil diamata je aliala diam kan mo ibe min foko out of panic hay ko ni usen yow ke don avec la rebelolti mu ne ara fam avec la mu ne ko sport counting loi min for sport counting bari ga Gambia fan la je Gambia mi ko mo kil nek naka hey ali angal teri fan jibe ba control ko da country every counting station or iri ka fonko so jelo mi ko min ka resolution announce je dula bebe mo bebe tarfola bari bi buka je mo be sirin glato klimu dan tan yetara la ko ali ngalo banko be nyanta jikila wala nyanta ka resolution fo min ganyata wala nyanta ka announce ano jibetro ku jamal bi je min nyanta ka falling bari hane be sirin ay sibe deri ku jamal nyanta ka falling hane min bot iba fu ko bolam ma bulle mota paper ballot ko be nyanta kinata ko nyanta kala sign less than for 1 year few months wala ben nin carte fawtema 1 year few months wala ben nin carte fawtema ibe dere e kamana kute kunna ko min be tel kunna wote do kudlato because yaje nkanyina for elections have consequences mol tamu minti al tonya teola tonya dila nga kairo tinyang ay lies be nga tar kairo ko wallahi ning mol million ko do ko no ila feddo ila banko do ko ila fata kanyi they can turn things down ni wolle man tambe be tala batal do ko no ani nga ku dole bonde wo ko no kabiri useno atada Brussels ye blueprint natna ani amal sanyo le blueprint natna dunia be embrace Gambia yo opportunity soto mielon ko UDP do position because baro carte mano bar milba koma ajikitela adi yalla jiko ma fale wala ko mel beleke pour ka protect pour ka londe sur le camp pour ka program on that it will be austerity measure, difficult decision, but abe munde wolo to shape to bring economic prosperity. Can the bankola economic fix? Amar Sane came with lots of measures to address that. Because he's an economic guru, he's an economic expert. But he have been politicized. Jawol nata. Ni betenne ni ma UDP bondi ntol nite do ko kenola UDP ngol bayndre ngana itel ngana itel ko beci bundu nyoko ni bangu kanja. Yen sunya yen yo kwende yen bute yen nyaajo bonde molla yelo bonda ni bankunka. And they were dining and whining with them, clapping. No more lota nyaton ko lota kuma fo kuma jawoto ka mol kuma ndi tolla wala ka kankar kun nangol mu dai kuma jawol fo yo bloko sila ntol ma fo bentol keno la kilintete ba ite nyin jila Senegal because o yimene expose ila value system what they hope what they uphold e ko itel nyata tarla mola mi lon ka be tonyandirola abe modol commande tolla be kula fala fo Macky Sall Macky jam ay Ousmane Sonko commanda tolla ka kumul fo rebelo mu akati na tata jande to give Ousmane Sonko identity to that has tribal undertone ay ko bereke ali amoy janne Dr. Bafula jam ye luwal be ta ka luwal be mesere pour que loi fanke joranti bare nale ajibe de ça Senegal on ko respect ko fele nko constitutional committee they dare to defy ko mansa Macky Sall lafta ko minga wota kenola oni loi manta je ndo la ko katan na kiti bundal to na institutional to I kawol kropundi ike interfere they ke manipulate mbiye jabe tonya la jam mole tada ko ngakiti nga institutional we let's go sako kiti bunda melan ko every Gambian should go and seek redress jelamo our last hope ye ngata wo fanan do fran ila kolke abebe document kan jande nyim bankun ka nyim bankun asime nyaaw nyen to nyala be labat nyim bankun ka ado wato sital de wanda UDP ko ni Alpha ala nga ni Alpha mutam bulu fulo ala nga ni Alpha mutam bulu fulo ngalon de to nyan sondale ko mo jamal be UDP mi alon ko mashallah alayhi sole ha niw tambita mashallah bare ko ali nga duwani Alpha la simane jata kende ali ngo duwade ay minno abe min sabala nyim bankun kan abe min nat la UDP le politiko kono abe kala nyon tawnt adon mol minen kan jam falke alal hakiloto fondin ke sa control fondin ke aji ya munda yabo ane aji yam sek ni bay Ouseni Balale hani suta hani mentoro minute killing wala second killing ina mena jam fa they have been with him for so long because yala struggle on you understand yala value you understand ye jikko min so tada abole manifest can still and he doesn't let us down so ntol bina mune tala kumane fula Ouseni mabi amanke menti met o mutonye ndoro mu nakarolati kafo Ouseni is not electable o mu nakarolati mba evidence solte banda momo yafo do kare taje if sando mo kono afo Ouseni yam famma wala ni tamo soto wallahi ta stari pipeline etaje ya fa ko tede nane nyum foy komale ha ma fo nyaade ba nane nyum foy komale bari yam famye because asime nyaaw nyande ala ton bebe fundla yalla ñu sabar la e buka sabar ala len kila e ala e malunde mini bebe nyim bef mini kanyim be mbefo du asawbe lolal be clinton namal because ate may ate bayila ale nanyu ko motade ate bayila lumbe sila malu wolonde bar lumbe sila nin kanyim nimbe nyim fokam bar nga falle ko teke nan lefta fan ale ni video tali akunde ala mabo ha la min ko na nyim foja adu mbejum fala adu I will be vindicated nko lumbe sila abe foyle ko le lew ko perekano ko le gambe dingo malako mini kanyum foko joni is not elected wala UDP every election Gambia bankoka kabiri 1996 UDP be winter ni bebe document kan ni bebe fundila le killing hey Gambia is too small de ite ke diamu doy ite malon ko mu jumalate bari nakaro sabar taka mu wol yo dans ite faala ko e toñal e sabar taka e ko pour jamala tankun whatever bari kulle fanan be keka karal be keren kul be develop kanne docteur mane da man dem faala janne bari min bebe tabe kan UDP da manne so fal UDP o kullo be UDP de bul bari pour kanyim ko take kanyim ko UDP mo ne nyim bankonka ndefa na ngal nako wote ke la sañ wote ke no la ni mol be bul 1040 min mol be bul 1000 fahamda bari ngal nako mol fana be UDP jana min ko ko sonte ma ko ñun jibe ñin nakaro ñin diminna fu karole be bataka na seno bunda hayna be tinyaka ñinam jibe sene dal fal bi jaxalle ila tiyul man sanno everybody modol bi ko ye regrettal fa hanu dol fal mi demande min fa carte fa baro e regrettal they in total regret because they were fooled by what bigotry ka kumol foye karñul be tenne ka mo londe few days before election kamol command with names kamol level kela political level with bad stuff but obe hanbe be o manyu UDP bale la gagne ila fonkola more people voted for UDP massively min keta aketa ba na fulan janna abi ko kelal bari fan le loto jay ko ite le minke fo dol man lo ya fo media ko no video evidence are there e ko ite ya lo mu nek bari wodo man de min fanke no min be kata latter part ngoy ko nalta nal fundi nalta la katto fay anyaba fembo ka kenot la bari kulle fanan kata in that minute janning e ka min tamba udla be ku jamala dun tanya ko no jo ada be ko kelal wala UDP iman son bi man son sama ko iman etel audition so mi announcer iman son ala hanbe be mete man son because min be jewla ndeko ko kulle keta min ni solo manta hana registration warol kono abele kata jam ngabele moy jam ye evidence ol natna e ko ngata court ngana evidence ol samba yo fanam beta ya be dabal e ja ya be jam fa dunda be ko banen Senegal dom tumado the people melan ko yefan identify tembi Senegal yefan identify nyame ila value system ila collectiveness yomi hitande molla mbado wala nga karawoto alin kana son politicien ole na yen nene yenda mal kun sanyola alin kana son alin kana sola nobody becomes a winner nobody becomes a winner in such a situation. But aljibe ala useni jibe I do ko kenyi man sakunda in the to moment na ngame kabo 2016 kata for 2017 18 mafa somewhere around 2017 18 mafa bari ngani le sotako hani ni ajita nala na jihal dokola akadua fala motolla na ta jita butung man sakunda moto buko ma because I time of respect le I man sakunda la resources I haklu toto bakele pour akana mawala ala baluwo ke afala baluwo kono atlinta fain fe atlinta la dimbal fe hadara patio molu milan ko ka bondi ka elek muta fula ko ala esene ne karjan aya fo kunke hani yite ya jamfa asila nyonto ta asila bunya dila abakala fi itimare fa kuma fo mo le ko because mun kida e bunya da e horma to akotu ala bul ala ko beke hani woto moy na taw yo expense min be na yo ko be dabal je ala ya senande set amam femma nyum ban sokuna he ama mo tora nyum bangoga and he did not take a dime from the government. So what more credibility and criteria are we looking for in a leader who is as honest as Useno? So nata man to jamfa, nata ma foko mbenyi lekela, nata man struggle you abandon. Ndota abandon. For nothing. For nobody. Aninga nyo tembo ngalo tonyaka. Nkanam fan defeat. Tonyabe UDP bulle adu mera tonyakan. Miya loife salam. Mimma loife fanan salam. But tonyabe labanda nyimbankunga asime wome. Aninga son nyoma nyimbankunga doata de. We want to protect the resources. Potential membe nyimbankunga te banna. Ndafle Senegal ni bari ni Gambia kire klenti. Wallahi ni man nyo sinsaba bula mbega ke klenti. Nyimbankunga bora science ni mben kire klenti. Science bo. You see, almost masakunda na miala ngabe kala nyon tanti abe kula nat na jang on the UDP. Sakum Useno. Nyabe min nabi. Abala, we have talented youths, we have talented brains. Miyalanko, they can bring blueprint, not only blueprint, but they can bring practical steps. They can take practical steps to turn things around for this economy turnaround and reach out to the farthest part of the world to bring prosperity for this country. And mimbe kala jawle ko to fight corruption kal banko mo la soto fan ke tanka na yol na ba ko na jibe mandran na faka na wulo ko na jibe mandran na faka. All the natural resources ndanga fen fen soja na oil hanbe bimento kol keta nyim banko la nyintulu kolu hanbe bimento masakunda mam fellonde openly transparently kam fumule na tulo keta mun keta no la tulo fo ngamo na breaking it down nuwa kana ka fumoli kuro bi bedum do jokono je nuwa na ta ja be explain mo la jam nyabala me nyona karla. So there is nothing more to convince anybody that Usenu is a right leader. Usenu is a leader. Usenu is a very passionate and more meaning I lua bunya. I lua horo. Development of better than lua leka human right. Ayo bunya. But lenga son nyoma. So you know, abemu min wala da fele jang police kundato politician olto ndel banko deolto ani miliyan ko ebe maralen kolla banko la soto fen wato lebul ngani fo ko ate bayla alani hakiloto al tenko al sabari to nyondirla ala kanyanda sila luwolo be to nyondiro la luwolo be to nyondiro la miri babe kunna kulloto banketo abebe lonnale adabe lonnale nyim dunia is one village ngani fo mba fo kon nka fo I know why I'm saying it kuta no kunno la nyim dunia kon kotaki o tambitan kuta nukuna kotaki nyim bankunka initi yake yamere koy mol ma don mol ya lonne iti yamere koy no kunde ne balo bebe bantoto ha nomba fele ngaki jang nimi lefto commandila you know ida dum kachato ala fele jang nomba fele ngafe yolon 0044 777 1676759 nimi lefto commandila ifana etafo wala mo anga kacha wala dalum nyinti ndul gambe donlier politician lié Senegal Gambia but nyade bi Senegal bitaka adu Senegal very soon ankanyina fo atamela baki you people we are going to see a lot of prosperity in Senegal modo fana mba foko nyako mol mil fal yalan ko sakon na nyum politician menon ko e ko di balta gambe banko ke dara kordal lo Senegal akonyo ko wala bang nya wati bina sila Senegal ko bina ni ku mo si haklo to draw aninga na investment ke na banko ka modol be nyum banko ka nol do na re fem soroje woluma be ke laje e ka sambe na banko ka bandol fana du nyanda mene ko lonyene ko fem soro ngafe aninga sambe na banko ka there are a lot of opportunities Gambia see to protect our resources. They pay tax in the right way. We are missing out lots of money on some of these illicit ways, but to get money here, pam. Aita. After the Mulina investment in the Bangkok, but they should pay their fair share into our coffers. And no to protect that coffers from squandering. But every day, new news supposed to scandal, millions like a film. Wala million spend jamiran ko baka kunna fenyo wasted, excessive wasted. Ibe na bulal be taylela, ibe na bulal be wafila. Banko minan ko jiki bundal mu dawdan de wol be dia feru hayna sa hanbe mi mun to be yankala ba ko ne baka kano. We are wasting millions. More safety, more fent. Because because in some of these things there should be accountability. But I'm near will be cannot tell be support ka. Nyabala mulbe mul fela mul niwala bakoro. Ka ferol bulaje in the state of disrepair. So ferol kino hanbe ba masam ko to hanbe be ku kino drop dul buka falling no. Buka fe maintain no. Ngol ngadi do ku no ralla. Mudan tandine be balande ha salam alaikum hello salam alaikum yes keba embe mbela fele la fa contribuer fo okay bismillah mol be la moy ka
mela actually kabin la programme ko ne letal bar ngado mani mom moy je beni fo kan regarding Senegal la molla no kaje ko system woni change in Senegal actually I think Gambian politics in Senegal la politics ye blaso da mi yalon ko katabata nyolale but blaso da mi yalon ko jam ko nyolale when you come to all age politics in Senegal and Gambia be the same politics la be likely all age politics wala politiko mu yalon ka feke num katana ke bali noma sukuru botol dila kalerol dila ye fundingol dila ye femkol dila pour ye vote mole mu yalon ko wolde wo materials wol dila by nina la new generation mu yalon ka be caring thing Senegal government has succeeded in applying patriotism in la funding mu yalon ko ka teach in school ke la dindi mul la findi banko nyina so kaje ko nyimul yalon ko nyi generation mu yalon ka findi na less than 30 years ka kanaduma ile kada molet mul yalon ko ika minge wolem banko la nyato ka follow jani be fenjela you know so nyimul nyi youth so le mol mul yalon ko lota kaboni university el to lembang kata ila funding ke mul yalon ko be satel kono you know they stood kaji ko ning old age politics mu yalon ka be Senegal kono ay banje ay danje ye mot samana mu yalon ko hakilo le bala bankola la fole bala itelibe ka mirari kini moleke so now more or less what they are talking is not about the political party movement perspective it's about the ideology and the new ideology new funding ke be la ta wala yo ideology ye wala promote mu yalon ko wolen concept pour cap Senegal samanya and inata jikko Ousmane Sonko mu molti mu yalon ko tel kam mu mira afanan ka di same thing mira and ka wala emphasize so Lamine, if I tell you, nte pamane, in 2021, nte bonita Dakar njane ngana paso jo, ntata Dakar ntata kelo ke Ousmane Sonko la ko. Because ngaje nte kunya to nya nte ame Gambian but nte mu Senegalese net ikara school Senegal ana masetting ko ila future relies in the peacefulness of Senegal nte mu Gambia di multi but nte mu Senegalese net ibera kan school jande so if I fight on their behalf in Senegal that means ko itella sama mbole kele kan andu ngam fulon le taraje mu yalon ko they were fight the same thing and the more the Gambia muli along ko de no ko no kele Bokar Sidiki Jambe go si falle kono Bokar Sidiki that day kabirim be Dakar mfota de je suba mu nan na bi jam ko wo subala Bokar Sidiki is hearing me so ñen mo kule yalla ko Gambia di ngol ko example samara pour Gambia funding ke di yalon telefanan mune be ñaato ñanta mune kela lo ñam mileti banko jo because I do not believe ko molka concept mun soto ka fu mole ko ni dunda politiko kono na faale beje mun na faasi faale beje na faasi atal Mr. Kuna banko la na fa beje individual na fa beje but more or less when we look in the aspect of general nafa wole be banko na faala wole be nan telephone na faala wole be nan next generation na faala Gambia funding ken nyantay wole ji but molka mun ne haali dunda politiko kono na faale beje ni kuma ndiye modo kilindila wala ye promise compound la wala be kuma kense wol foleye at the end of the day what you do is sell your future and the future of next generation funding keli nyantalo na ko banko la nyato tabe larin tele bulo kon and the responsibility mu yalon ko banko nyanta tala abe larin tele ko ngokan ninyi banko bota tele ba bondila ninyi banko tuta fanan tele ya bar mun beje wala funding ke yaje ni Gambian ko no sain mbika banko la nyato taje de mfangul kuul damma yalo mol bika pare kanyen ko lamina andu nyanta ngo fonyo we have the first one another ngay tan ko nyim banko la nyato ta abila ni banko dingul le bulu banko dingul jamal gollem funding ke wol because there is no developed country mu yalo ko funding ke me dadunje mu yalo ko musol me dadunje wo musolo ani wo funding ke wolle be la nyokam surtout funding musol mu yalon koy fana bi funding ke wolle kon ye famol la nyoka ye symbole la nyokam Senegal funding ke mu yalon koy fata nyim manifestation mu yalon koy yake Ousmane Sonko noma wala interest mu muneti je politiko kono adu politiko kono fata wolto takelo ke ni Ousmane de takku kini wolen concept nyinti ye wole kele foyetel ni le botaje sa itella interest mu motolem ba ko dalem ba ko dolem ba No. What they are seeing is the future of their country. And be wallahi wo mun kele Senegal be wala kono. So this is something we na network is not that okay. But coming I just want to participate. Nganyambula je ano ngalo mfana more lot of people want to want to contribute. Get into the big ila do ko lamina.
Thank you Pamod. So Pamani. Kafana mu jata balti. Barimolo, ngajelo module call ngela call miss while I was on the phone. If you want to call Omar Fati, ngela call ngela miss call there. If you want to call back, ngala defana be program waji beka. Barimolo, hanika bide nkaraji kila tay. Mo kanana ay lamfundi ay salyande. Kuno na ninka karto fay okay nga Marta Assalamu alaikum Naam Omar
Yes lela mo tam baade from hakilola
okay
ko Gambia ko kambala faal why Gambia bi nka modol je ka diam wala nka diamo mo modol la te ko wolbe patio konole patio ngo kumalo wol kamera ko fannin kele nyanta kana ko tanni dabola atra wole jahdo men beke lamin muna ninno na kawo fa nimma nyine bamba ko nyinti dano ke bani na hakole banko muna
ya
billahi wallahi ta'ala lamin ke bani na hakole na kawo men kala wole banko nyimmo wala na banko nyimbi takar duma wato wat ninni ya fonglo banko do lolu akoni alen na karfo bendi na alma ale albonda bala lamin gande ta sotola
ya auzubillah
Gambia de soto because me abe sabar kan abe munya kan ko mun bebe kan fannin kel mel nyanta lala kan aji ko mun melti wol tong dol bije lami ni wala ko mo fo yi iki jo sabo
imagine ngamul mil tofo aji amunda sika aji amunda ani aji amunda yabo ani
aji amunda
nyilbe they will never ever disappoint Useno. Adi ite banna jere ite banna bari sain tol funding ko le mune to sai me podem na rek
Ousmane Sonko la na Senegal kono misalo dabo misalo bokolo ko Ousmane Sonko la misalo Senegal let's more let you understand me kufle kamulung bari kafata but dabo lota tonya mengan Gambia Ousmane Sonko lota tonya la kan Senegal wala na bi Ousmane to bo foka adu momo ni lota tonya kan itole bo fala bar ni be kebal bale ko ni kebatal ay hikma men so wala na Gambia man ni dabo la hikmat bi batar Gambia man so but ikamine kete mun ngir ngaro nyindi na lafta tola du karal na kin kebal nimbe lafta dawlo la na kin kebal nimbe lafta nyato tala yesa ma soto isa bariyeto in kebal ko because banko ni bata menke banko diune bata menke kebanye bata menke nung abe kolari wato minna nitlinda UDP la fa semuta ye soro wo mol meli buke ikafe ko le nat nan bi dindi won fandin kera nyanta nala kunu wolle nko stroke lo kono mo bije me ya lead al nyaton ka abulabul na fa ka be resign fine hano fa ninte mo ba fly kan resign let's go because kafu ko dabo buka min mom abuka win mom wondi ofo de ba fly ko nte man songala
wallahi won to nya
kada fay nene manke Gambia na ma win men
wallahi
so why mon kan no belam ton kono ko de kan kafu ko kada fawol mel be ka ke kalwin ka sunyal so ite fa ofo ya fo sa ko de ke kana ko ha wote kenola al nga dota
ya ni kanyum fo fa ko abuka win amunda ko ite ko men you are playing into the hands of the dictator or mol milan ko nakaran tolo milan ko wato wate ibida nakarol amunda ko le validate ikolle
jambanika
ikolle validate
ibolle jambanika
because well ever han ya jambela fele comme min ka 2016 iko katol min beta yebe jane is all part of abe min keka every year katla fala mo le nan ma fayente jinno sa fayne o jinno lo wala mo o sunya holt jinno ka fay
okay ni ata real na fon sita o 300,000 vote jube Gambia di un population o me kato fay na e calculate akal ne ko UDP le ndam wala at ne ya jame me sabar
mo
abe UDP abe kalende kan abe fa kan wala at na me sabar no the same thing baro fana nata wala keta because population o me kato fay anin karte ke so men betel lubul ya sunya ya ati la karte ke so kan ni o jube wala kat ne ka kan fa UDP ko kam e ke lipa e ke fa e ko be lamin mbe sirin jan na bun kono jang karte fa o mon ban fole man karte ke konto ba na result to so de ko baronyol be winna maaj men na yafo o soto ro nyaadile
wallahi
soto ro nyaadile nyim ban ko ndim lamin gamela ko kan test ba but next karte fa o mbe bitale
inshallah baraka ba
na pulling agent o lamin am best sacrifice lande UDP ndela ma fa mo bi je ndela ba be talam mo be lola ja ko do mbajo
okay very good okay
thank you
mbela no batala inshallah baraka ba
okay
janama mas mbadinga kumema folo manke jalo bari fonga kumema janama mas baraka baage ndesan mo fele mialon ko ngani yosaniata mo fele mialon ko katanala mo fele mialon ko Allah taala banko la fa pati wala anda ala fen mankala fenti janaba ngelon sobe Allah bari mbedwale fo alma e solo simana njata ken jala ilo nya UDP a warata anyata enyola ile banko anyata war wallahi you inspire me keep inspiring me janaba but keep it up yes bismillah
baraka alama ayijo iko kira ko mo kendo wala ka mo la kende ya fo wala tini ko ni ko Muhammad ko bete ya tala ka fo ni tele bete ya di mo ma bete ya ka mo la bete ya ji ni mo man kende ya abuka mo la kende ya dino tele bete ya ibuka bata e free single day be ni do ko kunna ibe la do ko le dimbal be di banko kanu ala male bejo ngani yora kira promoto ani le tul hadi wa men kana promoto Lamin ntebe men fola Gambian ko le wala mi ko ali nga focus
wallahi
to nga baro dewdi le nga dewdi fola bango sai baro iko sulu ko santo solo man ko le afa kinya sai baro ke mi na be kira nyaadi
wallahi
anyati mi na jira paake mira talem jeti be selela santo solo diata la de kanta be santo le sala bari jinya abe kala nyame nyante wo fana mira andu ni mukawandol ci Senegal ni mekra je kawandole mati bari 2016 ben katantol fana gamo fana mukawandol ci e alon ka sembo warta baake parce que ni amoy landa fara so warta nyawnya abota membala wala wartati abe Gambia be aketa kuliku senu dabale ko be tatile banko mamanti so ninke ba me ya lon ko aman selfish ite man selfish ite banko leje yele dimbal faye ba dingol faye la musu dimbal fay iko ite nyati din saya la iko dindingol ya tol yelo ko ma mu kumalti mi yalo mu kawandi kuma balti wo bo nyama mu histreti mi yalo mo man nyen nyina la wala fo jannim bebe fala lu men anyanta bunya la le ay respect ko le nit ay nyine nit na asendi man saya siran kono ko man nansi mandela keta nyaare ay wole nit ko apply wada Senegal le men kay ay wole nit ko South Hama Liberia le president wo yemen kay woni Ousseynou Dabo bi natile man sia Ousseynou Dabo ti ko Joe Biden me alon ka bento la America jam ako birabe 26 years la tani Senate kono ay president ya ñi jam pour que republican la prime ministre tenya la jam signa sababa ñi ta bu ka soto no pour que le republican hama pour que le démocratie la que la yo la ticket wala dama bu ka prime ministre
and he's coming back again and then
he ala ba kala tale e be damento say na kita president andum tebe vote la ene another election men kana
no yeah
parce que ñom president beto anyum president beto nin ka man sto ba ile president be meje pari aya katale sakontol dimbatil min bi jan nittingol fa dabo be jibero le to islo en aya katan tol yenne aya kata banko yene andu mol laftala le fanan ay malianol ko mo manya nak sila si dunia ko ne ka fa ko to tale ben dabo dunia ko be to nte jang ko tanke mo le nyante dabo ni lo parce que ni man fa ite man kudan ko me te da ite ba balurine tantu ka dingo wulula ina na fa salama alayhi salama dunia bula yitu ja so ni tebe baluring so ni tanga me mon le ka fa ke ba tala linga keten tebe ko ko nyi buka la moyno bu tawunte yale ti anin hasidi yante am tawolti parce que president keri me wata Joe Biden tin dunia kon a president keri me wata parce que president wala president ma tel kan tu nate lafta me yeji a pareta pour yeji la pansa yala membe kala bari be jila so why Gambianol kasi ika fa ko dindingol ten ke bal be fala wato mena dindingol bebe na hajol topotoka mena ko dingino ni nakula including fango bebe na hajol topotoka menu be Gambia wo ani tol be diaspora be na hajol topotoka ne dol bi je wol titanole wol balanta janni titano parce que ni tata ski ik mosi tuwato I don't blame them but menu be sitting Gambia fa ko birin ke bani be fintila nyo so le nyanta kele je wolu hanite tambitale o hanna fa nyanya nga tamba nyato ntenga ko ni tebe je wolu to nyato nya ni taran tele be dum Gambia no wolu e la min sanate moten tula ko ba andu nyongol bi jele men yare man to ko so kay da haba nyon so alingo ko masifal jenke ni ka fa dindingol ina dino dindi man sayan to nyata nga cebal fananta nga jibe ban ya je me birabi na jang dindi mera wala mati wallahi ay men lon ko kan jambe ya je anu hani alama ale balal ngamere ko jawra fango bida fango bina man sayro tuma man ke cebati no so nyimben na taten baro wo fanan a cebata yaje men yolti lew biri yaje bina man sayro bara fanan man ke cebati do nya so nga jele mennu keta tilim baliyal mennu keta nyi masa kunda flo men tambita tek man jawra ta to fono la de bandi masa kunda flo men tabara masibo men ketam gam banko kan mo be yaje le benyi masibo men be kono barol ta je wata bet biya dibe tenkiraw men be molla usol katara kumbola ba fala sabari yam famma ndingol bes wo kono na banwo be laari janne nyin ton ko ndingwal ntu jang ko ka wuri kan isamu to ko dunya dim anati mu malay ko ta te saya nenela ibe wurlo musolu kan wol dingol be sirin suwol kono lamin skonate ntipa ma kata marché to le ngata nga taraje to moda ko nyako bi nganna membe mbulu nga be sang marsandi solale bo man sang amam bam folo so manda paso ngada paso do wol ko bita so ko le munya tumodon ton sisi foto ko tiri ko man kon because of ngalon ne I mean ngalon ne mem bol ka men fil ngalon ne because mbama be no wala ala yalon kila lon muso ko kata nyin dun dingol le da ko non tuja e la min wo jam fatante balo ko because ntinga wolonne nte bama kam tol balundi wala baro nyaabe wala be stealing andum baro le ma be injinoti baro be gambe dingol kumbondi la suto ni tino Ousseynou Dabo man la fi fen fene dina la balo ko no fo gambe dingol nañu kumbo ka dunga la nyaama ngani ala dron yalo pour nga taha buray ntere Ousseynou Dabo 2026 anga Ousseynou Dabo ni parce que wini tajane fa beta multa ta tiaral sile ya fa jan ka wini tajane anu hani election men
exactly so ko man be mu evidence la mi ka fa ko habu
monati na mo membe mo wuli kemenani be win le ite ko te wala so carte wala carte fa yo men la taw ka ite ko te be inauguration fa wala ite la présidence yi molu ite ma mo so to fal ka mo fefi fa président dol ka fitti kam fay ka fe no be je no be kita Gambia o molle o mo wuli kemenani bo tammi so uncle bibi da be men fo wala nombale ata biri moli alo menkata biri moli en yela jadi bite carte fa ko dito UDP bulo kono ko di mantare UDP bu baro e million wal spend o nyaaw ni wo mu presidential election wal tunu baro te taraje bi
wallahi
council election onata ko di temol bulo kono UDP ban ko di soto parce que dol ji foftale fango nyi ko ti so me mol ji foftale mol be fa bari wo nyaaw nga traile so hard baro malundi wallahi o election onata be yoro election onata nga mellay nga buksay nga detendi le fala bango abe keren din ko mol kono slam baro ya ko gambe no UDP pareta kamale andu menka kenu ngate kenola abe dikiri nyi magi sala menna ma sibo boy ton ka Senegal yo Kenya men malo membe o dala bi yawni malo ni toro membe boka man sa yala bi ni daraja do ya bi nte tulobe magi sala la ministre fen ko la ila tiktok ko le jibe ka bula magi sala la kan nen ka fa ko fisri wallo ma tingi nit menu yalla wala ka mo nek so ko ñol nengay bi wala ton takate fango neng ata kam mi do ko mo neng
ya jibe de
ko baro ka mol jo nyamen kana ka mol neng ka mol boni diaspora ka tiketo jo kana ka mol neng ka Gambia ko ka mol ko mandi ka mol neng ite mo baraka ma jela baro noma ani ni diaspora ja menu yalla ko man kutu tey fay andi te kutu tele man jiki fanna wala be bradi baro noma lamin antol menu yalla ko be Gambia le kan na ko dol le boni na butu tol ne transol nga kafu nyoma nga ki Gambia bari tol katara sirin tubabu le be tiketo bato ne be men kirena ibe nyo sabana ko dolan tulo bale be nyoti nyaal banko si tulo ni mo si fa buru ban be tulo bala UDP albe mo kende albe din kende albo be wasari mo ni keta fekti na te dum tan UDP ni fek den di ko na ta jabe farale ko le ken so be fitire bita wala ni menu be kana te ban kibrindi kata alin kana hani fem ko janni lo yara be kala man satin be nyolon na
wallahi
sulu wal nim bal be bola nyotol
e bari Gambian so nga sabar ñoy
mo be ko to nga fa mo le ko ali nga fukos Senegal ni men kan tolle folo yake parce que Senegal
ke na promos
man tan to kele kan tanji sabale magi sala ji manya dadi bari to sanji mu wandi fula wonde tiri fulati de fo fisalo kita dol borta dol fata fal kita sal kita min jawyata ko mu laba mo fa mo silanta fo doliye fam bondi dol ba pati ko kam te tije pati fa dol bije Hussein Dabo be focusing hani kabi ay do ko be muta kati ta jol na fa barabe abitale ala ya kay ay ya jame bondi ja parce que Hussein UDP le ya jame bondi ja ni wodi ata me wole keta no man diame fana wole keta so bedwala mo be fa ala sikayra ke UDP ala sin fasa man so me yalon ka tele ka tonya fasa tonyaji ay Senegal fasa nyame ay bondi ni dibi ko lengo kono magi sala ka be kene bul dicté toti ala ya de ma tro kuntu parce que ni magi sala ka dicté wala bes afrika be retinyati so bi ala Senegal yo kelo ke ya bondi ji ntenga lon ko kundi nen tol pour 2026 ngabaro finish ji wala yimbe tantu lambe jera
janaba an kanyila foye janaba ala e ku bale ke wallahi son ila ka contene ka diama moliye ye politique Gambia politique ko faham pa kele andun Gambia musolu ngani foye enen fatsen alka kar fama diamo al diamo mol balla ko mol kala ko mol nte solo foye ya keep talking andu inshallah isa be kele isa wala lafta min nawla ko Gambia ta nyaato awo be kele inshallah abaraka baki thank you so much listen muso kendo fele angana senat ko rodiata ala fal banko ni mosi valu no pour gabi bade ngolo mbele ngol moy kulle keta Gambia ani kulle fanan keta Senegal on kolje Gambia nolu yelle sino taad bulu UDP la struggle yelle sino taaje say atari ya plant bari wol sonto nyomale e la do kula la institutional do kula mi lan ko martela e fane alaji i sonta alama e sonta to nya fasara fo bi min nyanda kala wokata aljibe ali gambe fa jibe tro yaje gambia ali nga nyo to nyong bula nga to nya tiwla to nya dila hada nyi idea ni formula min be na ha ali nga ta coalition wala bari ni na la coalition wala patio ni bota ni ye min tambendi ni patio pati ni exact number bina ado fa na jibe patio min dol bi anan koy man mo soto man fenna soto e ko le ko do e na non nangam kimina na man dol fal bi mo fal le mera mo fal sindino adi la moy jam so mo yoke e ko sa ni min tambita auto e be mare be resigner la patio to ko be mo meto pour kana son minyan what is wrong with rallying behind UDP kanyum banko bande because wolle bina lo le kaje ko ndol be damma manyinke nalbel den na system o londi means work nan tu ñoy nga ñoo buña nga ñoo xoroma politician le kan mo dundu ñoo ko no bari nin tata ngalon ko day c'est clair victory wallahi UDP fana mbal nako molle londi molle jikitala ade dewel deliver Senegal ala baraka bak UDP kolu gambe dewlu ali nga karam e karam tam bulle de bari fa ifana le kule ke nyanta karam nambin Senegal kolu beko over their dead body bari ali nga jibe in the coming years wallahi Senegal will be transformed ibamena kon te mantra the same area ibamena ko be dun kan e ka bonan blalol to one continent e kara another continent itamina ko Senegal fan is an African country what do be because in the coming jibolande ko this infrastructure major infrastructure it comes the state of the art the modern infrastructure. Look at trains now and now they are going electric. Senegal, a neighboring country, you can on yadile. The corruption of the kele, not the corruption of the one bijele, not the bijele, but they fought against it. I don't mean binakila wala ni ko, ni bin binat sila teng, ni mang falling, karola fana mude, ni mang falling. They will deliver to Senegalese. But you know, camion lo no, ño fasalo no banku di yalo no, nationalism ngo support, nga bo ño toñena, nga bo ño sinse bala. Nga ño mo ñu nakar la. Mbota même fala. Dolu bi je parti dol fa lo rek, ni election bi na sila. E be parti de mala jele. Abe karabe mo ñu nakar wolti. Mo lafta pluralism la, lafta political pluralism la. But toña dol bi je wol dol bila wala tala wol jannanda ko jelle hane kaf dol ma fa parti politique la mo démocratie la ha parti jelle lo ta Senegal over almost how many political parties for 15 to 16 for 18 political parties bari dol parti dol bi jelle gagne ko zero la France to wala la because mo nekata imana fi the time wala waste la Senegal ngol ku fatal ma foko gambe no fana kumfa but what I'm saying is it mean kijang is exemplary it means only a time waste with those political parties because they are some of them are just time wasters andung ñina kete gambe banko e ko nga coalition de ni mi kambida e rijani la political party imagine where we are today ni national dialogue min kata mame baake all political parties should come and take part. But some of them have started resurfacing. Kunu will start election auto. Will they do election auto? Cabinet election man now more kotaki. But when it comes to the national stake, now they want to be. We will put them at the heart of everything, as if it's a lay kobe. Ufa udam manda maninga JGB kondeke. Ulmu election loi lebe election act loi le londija. Political party la lo nyana la tamandre nyalo ulbe mu loi la ulbe mu they are all part of rule of law pour loi la tama but no wol dol fal bu ta congress wol fana mu loi tinya dolati ite ko banko yinna nimbe molati ani na wol ye mon la katto fenke after niare ko there is no way ta kaf modum alin ngan tunyoy alin ngan nyula hako dina alin kana so yan walinde alin kana so yan kuyande Senegal ni Gambia one country lo moyti mo kilo lo moyti bare mo politician la tay lafta kam mo conseil nyola kan kuyande sakonto le Gambia dewlo ndam malu fondin kela wala dal fele kunda nala wala dalam alin ngan tunyoy alin ngan sabar nyoy alin ngan loyal to our country ndi dol bi ka fa ko Gambia first but ni wo Gambia first tel ka man kutulo tan di ka kuleke min say tan ko dia Gambia first or they put Gambia first e ka fo dara bari te fankara bara kul minna wonin Gambia first wonin chawni banko alal bejale in the coming jannin kato bina sila katifo bina sila mul bina lebe kumul agenda sifal dol nat la kul kono ali cross back ali cross de mo filindo kuma stale puto jannin be dun nañ election kono ali ngan kuma social media ali je cross back ba ali ngan tuñu ali nga sabar ñu ali nga bo ñu nakara ali nga bo ñu toñala akara silang ali be nga rally behind common interest ñu banku topoto ñu banku be tiñakan toñata ñu banku be tiñala kon ta fix no hani mo man ka toñati sa fix no le just put the right people there it will be fixed ngalamin donc nga docteur Lamin Manela audio pile la janne ani Peter Gomez kachamin Kofi Tame kachamin soto Peter Gomez londo mi lu karam mbabulu woyi banku nafa bakela anyona te banna the human capital mimbe UDP the talent pool mimbe UDP ate banna party phenomenon is well structured is so blessed adu gambe non you thank God you have responded to the call of UDP but more than den mi le bijana ko to what kala nyim bankunka wala be bota bi beka but al ning ala kitala next one ni fana be laadna koy be laadna ko wo manyalu wo jamfal ni wo debar pol it will not work UDP fana they have learned their lessons and they are going to do everything within their powers using all the resources at their disposal to ensure ko ni min soto moto manipulate nola abada ali to sonna la kotaki inshallah oto badi wono bedana la jam ala baraka bake kumo amandiya ni nga fem fandunda mo moy kasila asala ko bonde ni par min bi jawlo nyande ko waddo bi kanyala ka jang ka politiko kacha kan hakul bando kolla mialon ko benna society ko no adun agenda sol adun mo pamana ya fujande politiko min be gambe banko kan kanyum fanfala sainten kumata kerende but give it maybe 1 year before election or 6 months before election isata ka wulde kana biro lalla mbe nyine kele jang mbe nyine natna je be kolbe kala ngam ko trakit ke bela how many years nyil bi e kumule katto fay mon fenna wani katto fo bina don e be kumol sata e be kol kila to pretend ko dia Senegal hayna e be kumola kolbe loptat bunda fon bele be tinyala fon bele be mankiring bayida ina fenla kan ngina ndol kan distract is going to be same all nin son ta kota kenyil nata yen nene no le fem du mol wala ji mondo du mol bulo kono kota ki Gambia wallahi it'll be sad very very sad comme ala to mole alma ale banko bonde sila ba ko la baraka ba badi malami ko
zembe do ya dabula Gambia lo ya ba uteni ya kenyi jula dabo Wallahi jula dabo Nangi go zembe do ya dabula Gambia lo ya ba uteni ya kenyi jula dabo Koki majulan, nyaki majuladabo. Sakandara ngana ni wada nga barabara minna ni gado minna kono dunia bile. Wala bara dobo ke moda manku yala mume. Adla bara jimbi dio da dia dalang na judo dabo. Nangi go zembe do ya dabo wala Gambia lo ya ba zeni ya kenye juna dabo